The SpitSLAM record label group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at SpitSLAMrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The SpitSLAM record label group. Throwback to the future sound.
Oh, look who's rocking in the place to be tonight. What's up, everybody? C-Doc again, hanging with the Odad.
Hey, I go by the name of the King Creek. What?
And of course,
That's
I would expect nothing less, but he's rocking the real shit.
Yeah, that's hip hop to me, man.
That's
my inspiration, man. I don't know. You know, my inspiration is 78, 79, 80, 81, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. That was the foundation.
Yeah, that's the flow. Like, that's where you know what I mean? And the interesting part, even though it's a lot of like, you know, it's a lot of groups in that time and a lot of people dope. Like Treacherous was dope.
Yeah.
Plastic is dope. Cold Crush is dope. But that flow thing, I don't know. Some kind of way, Furious 5 really mastered that whole ideology of like different flows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think later on, Treacherous 3 probably did a little different thing with kind of Mo D being the forefront of that. But if you just see the intertwining styles of the 5, it's a whole different thing. Because when you're talking about nobody sounding alike, like nobody sounded alike.
Yeah.
And so you not only did they have distinct voices, like I think sometimes people get that mixed up. I think that sometimes people think, oh, you know, they all had distinct voices. That's true, they had distinct voices, but I think people don't realize that they also had distinct flows.
Yes.
And so if you was a rap, you know, it's I don't know, it's hard. Like I talk to my friends a lot of times about the NBA. It's very difficult to talk to people, even people from the Jordan era, about the Chamberlain, Willis Reed, Earl Monroe, Larry Bird era. Because if you wasn't there, then it's very difficult. And then you ended up, you know what I mean? I was talking to somebody, was it today? I was talking to a guy today who's a producer. And it was a DJ. His name is, I think he calls himself DJ 360. He's in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. And he does all these interviews. He wants to, you know, pull a little interview together with me. And he was saying how he likes to interview us because when you speak to some of the, even what they call hip hop purists now, they still like gravitate toward the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like, and that's not a bad thing in itself, but it's difficult to explain that era, you know, the Furious 5 and the Park and all of that to people who wasn't there. I mean, I look to do it all the time, and I try to put, you know, some of that influence in my music, but sometimes it's a little difficult to survey that point, you know, convey that point. That's what I meant to say. Yes. It's a little difficult to convey that point to people because they just, you know, it's like a person after he done seen Jordan. I mean, you could explain to him Dick Barnett, Willis Reed, Oscar Robinson, but it's not like, you know what I mean? Unless you show him like Pete Maravich tapes with Pete doing crazy, you know, stuff. They don't really get it. But
do you think that's also because it's not everything is documented today and it wasn't at that point in time? I mean, there's tapes and there's some footage and things.
I think it's partly that, right? And I think it's partly like sometimes I look at hip hop and I say, damn, we became our parents, right? And what I mean by that is that when you hear guys like my man Big Steve in Oakland that you know, when you hear guys like Big Steve talk about the golden era, the way they talk about it is like nothing could be better.
Right.
Right. And that's why I say we kind of became our parents because, and then the young kids became the same way.
Right.
so I'm answering that question. I think that everybody feels like what they grew up in, what motivated them, and what was dope at their time was the dopest to exist.
Yeah.
Yes, granted, a lot of that is not documented. It might feel a little different if we had some tapes from Edenmore Park, or had some tapes from like a bunch of tapes. There's a couple of tapes from the Disco Fever, but not a lot. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? Peace, YZ. If we had some of that documented, yes, but then you also will face the, I'll say it this way, you also would face the pushback of what people call looking old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they might not look at it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. My point is, it's very difficult if you didn't come from that era to see that that's what your roots are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's evolved so long and down the line that does that kid, what's that kid, SGA that just won they won the championship in Oklahoma City. I mean, does he think about Oscar Robertson? Does he think about Dick Barnett? Does he think about those guys back there? Right. Or does he just think about Goldfing's in a place? Or does he just think about like Jordan?
Right.
And Kobe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, nothing wrong with thinking about Jordan and Kobe, but it's like there are roots to things. I think that's my point. And I don't know. I don't even know how to really solve that. I've been trying to speak to my peers about it, but like even I don't know if so this week there's this rumor going around. I don't know if it's true or false, but there's this rumor going around that Kane, G-Rap, Chris, and Rakim are forming a supergroup.
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there's a yo, Ultramag, I thought you was gonna be on with us. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so true, false, or indifferent, that's not gonna solve my problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's not gonna solve the problem of showing how dope Furious 5 is.
Yeah.
It's not going to show of showing how dope the Fantastic Five is. The only thing that will do that, in my opinion, I really don't care about people's age, is them making records now.
Yeah.
At least mixtapes.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't necessarily have to be. And then, Doc, I'm talking to you. Like, plenty of times I'll hit you up. We done sent beats to Kane. We done sent beats to Positive K. Plenty of times I'll hit you up like, yo, I got so-and-so on the line. Send me something. You'll send me something. To me, in my head, that worked for Kane. To me, in my head, even Kane, when he heard the beat that you sent, said, oh, yeah, this is definitely a Big Daddy Kane joint, but I'm working on some acting things right now.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know. The weird part for me is I just don't know how serious, and I hate to say it like this, but I just don't know how serious cats take the music.
Yeah.
That part of the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Especially with it being, and I mean, I sound like a broken record saying this, but especially with it being 2025 and and the access of making music being so available.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, from meeting producers, like the way I met Goldfings and the way I met some of the producers that are on my record, to just all of that stuff is just so available. Do you have to always do it outside of the studio? You absolutely do not. However, you do have that option now when we didn't have that option in the past. Right. And so like how serious is it to you? How serious is it to you? Or is it just, it's just not worth my time? Because that's the only, and you leave me to again, if you don't give me an answer, I can make my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fran Love and the hip hop channel. You leave me to make my own answer. That is just not that important to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That the music is just not that important to you. And to me, it's like, it doesn't have to be that important to make money to you anymore.
Yeah.
Because at our age, right? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm keeping it a buck. At our age, if you haven't found a way to pay your bills, if music is not paying your bills, music paying your bills, like you a Dougie Fresh, or it's a couple of cats that they make enough yearly, either shows or some of that stuff, that everything is straight. But a lot of cats from my era are not. Yeah, Mel and Scott work all the time. Some people don't work all the time.
Yeah.
So if you haven't found a way to pay your bills outside of music, that's kind of on you. That's not on her.
Yeah.
She's still sitting there suffering like, yo, I know you got me in you. What are you doing with me? You know what I'm saying? It's just, it gets to be weird. I was talking to Star yesterday because I seen her post some stuff. She's been posting stuff for a week. And I was like, yo, ain't it time for that collab? And she was like, yeah, I've been sent you the verse. And then she had it time stamped. You know me, Doc, I'm mad late. So it was like 2022. She was like, September 2022, I sent you the verse. And so I looked it up, but she had only sent me a remix verse for Gods and Dope Fiends. And so I noticed a couple of the other email trails. I said, yo, it looks like all you sent me was a remix verse for Gods and Dope Fiends. And it seems like I sent you some beats, but you were saying you liked a few of them. She says, yeah, the one I did like, you used it with Thirds and Indigo. And so I said, okay, boom, because, I got an iPhone and an Android. I was like, yo, if you got an iPhone, I'll start sending you, because now Gold and all of them been sending me crazy heat. But this is the point I was making. I said to her, it's always weird, and you know this about me because you make my records. Every time I finish a record, I'm ready to do the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just sometimes don't understand that hunger not being in my peers.
Yeah.
Because I always in the 80s wanted to make more music than I did. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't do it. It was just not available to me.
Right.
I'm signed to a label. I got to go to studios to make everything. Like I just couldn't do it. But now that I can, I do it. And I just want, again, and I know we got to get into the listening part. When I think of our music, I think about the fact that, like, there's so much in us and so much that we could say. I mean, and I'll segue that into East New York stories. For instance, nobody. Well, let me say this: I don't think anybody could have made East New York stories. No disrespect to Blase or nobody else that's from the East, but I don't think anybody could have made it. That's one thing. But the point is, nobody not in my peer group or age group could have made East New York stories. Mm-hmm. Because those stories ain't they stories.
Exactly. So
they just can't even talk that because they don't even know that life.
Yep.
You understand what I'm trying? And that's my point. That's my point. My point is, like, we have stuff in us, my peers. I'm talking about, and I call us 80s rappers, right? 80s rappers, we have something in us that nobody else can talk that.
Yeah.
And no disrespect, I love Jada, God bless DMX, the guys that passed away, the Biggies, the Pacs, all of them, and then all the rest of the 90s guys that exist, still Wu-Tang and Nas and them. I love them all. They can't talk my story. They little kids to me.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. And so I feel like when we missing hip-hop, right now, I'm just talking about hip hop. It does bleed into music in general, and when hip hop is missing that, then hip hop is missing the conundrum of hip hop. Mm-hmm. I say that as a person, like I'm an avid, and I've been I have never listened to Cowboy Carter, so it's got nothing to do with Cowboy Carter, but I'm an avid listener to country music. When I was in, YZ could attest to this, when I was in Atlanta at Fusebox, I used to teach rappers how to write songs from listening to Toby Keith, Bullets and a Gun. You know what I mean? Because it was a great beginning, middle, and end song. Country music lives because of the elders in it. It doesn't live because of Morgan Wallen and Jason Aldean.
Right.
New kid that I love that made that record, that 18-year-old. It doesn't live because of Teddy Swims in them. It lives because of the elders embracing them and them embracing the elders.
Right.
You understand? And so they know that they can't go but so far. They have to be accepted with it. You know, I'll tell you another music that's that way. Reggae is like that, even though what we call Elephant Man and Buju and Bounty, we call them dancehall artists, but they have to respect Bob Marley. They have to respect Toots and the Maytals. They have to respect Gregory Isaac and all of them. And that's what makes them make the music that they make.
Right.
Every once in a while, they'll come back with a rhythm that was a old Sly and Robbie rhythm. They might do something new on it.
Yep.
But they'll come back with those rhythms because they respect it. And I feel like hip hop, I can't talk about all music. I can talk about hip hop because I'm part of it. Hip hop misses that connection, but I don't think that that's due to Rod Wave or Future or Glorilla or none of them. I think it's due to us. You know what I mean? And us not having. First of all, when I looked at the amount of music that some of these country artists put out, I was just like Hank Williams or George Strait. It's amazing how many albums they have. You know what I mean? So it's like us in the 80s, we had a good run, and then it felt like most of us just stopped.
Yeah.
Then those of us that call ourselves starting again, I was going to do a post today, but we did this. I'll do it this week, showing all 8 of my albums. Most of us that call ourselves starting again, we don't really start again. We do one thing and then we go on about a business. And that's not cool either.
Right.
So where you want to start?
Start at the beginning.
All right. So I put together this album. C-Doc is always my A&R / sequencer / guru. I think I might have had 2 other records on the album that, me and him always fight, but he always wins, that we just took off the album because he was like, DDs are not strong enough. And then he said to me, we don't have an intro record.
The jump off joint.
We don't have a jump off joint. And I was like, yo, we got to keep that record that me and Lena did. And he was
which I totally forgot about.
Right, you totally forgot about it, so I sent it. So this is I did a record with Lena Jackson a few years ago called Ain't No Rhyming for Free. She's a powerhouse. She's from Raleigh, North Carolina. She gets it in. And so this is Keep That featuring Lena Jackson.
John Wilkes with historical aim, a royal pain to the category, orally unskilled, wanna be oracles, LaCroix when that blood spill, old school on new drug still, I pay homage, show respect, wipe my feet on welcome rug still, but you gon' get this working, I'ma keep the love peel off on any joints lacking real or try to make us sleep, I got a fist full of chin checks you can keep,
Yeah.
there's something you can keep.
Come on, here we go. Came up under guard, you can ask about me. Absolutely authentic, ain't no mass about me. East New York, what I rep, nothing ass about me. I'm against no tablecloths, I got class about me. Graduated from the Rugers and Techs, I shoot brains now. Used to fall in love every clip, I abstain now. Orchard Street, still where I shop to fit Trevi. Gleaming like a 3-peat team, the squad ready. Crew that I refuse to lose, I don't back down. Used to see my nephew with toys, he make tracks now. Heavy roller, I ain't talking blunts and dice. Heavy Brooklyn, corner chicken wings and rice. I miss Biggie, I miss my conversations with I miss Sean P. Prodigy, I miss Big Pun. I miss real girls, real hair, miss real rap. Seeing y'all mumble and trap, you could keep that.
There's something you can keep. 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 Wanna go back to the throwback, gotta change with the times, yeah, I already know that. Need that nostalgia, I'm about to revel in that moment with or without you. No doubt the game changed in it, they gotten so lame with it. All these rappers inconsistent, Mr. Merck and Mike back in the day. They got so lazy, I'm thinking they trying to give away the crown, will I be down to slay? My peers will all be my victims, And I be forced to stay like brown people in the system. Mr. Persistence keep me hungry in the kitchen. What she whipping, it's a trip on how you supposed to be the boss, but you nosing your way up in my trough. I ain't the one for you to dig out. I'ma pig out and feast upon the dreams you once envisioned. Be that lovely beast that regretted not to listen or mention. I'm inching mad close to that braggable status. No apparatus to stopping what's popping now and then. There's just more power in my pen. Take it back to the future. I burn this proof again. There's something you can keep. There's something you can keep. There's something you can keep. There's something you can keep.
It's C-Doc again.
It's C-Doc again. Yo, shout out Bloom Bap Coast to Coast, the 54 side show. They charted that record this week.
Word.
That, yeah.
Dope. That's
Yeah,
great.
they charted that record this week. So yeah.
That's great.
You know, I'm in some good company. I'm right there next to Apathy and all them. You know, I love being next to them rappers. Yeah. If y'all don't know, that's tuned in. You know, hip hop has been through a lot of changes, but it's a bunch of rappers out there that like all they do is spit.
Yeah.
So cats like App and Vinny Paz and all of them, all they do is rap. Like they will rap your ass into a balloon and back out. And so whenever I see myself like in the company of them type of people, I always feel real good because it you know, it's a, you know, we are divided. We are a little divided right now. I'm looking for us to get a little closer. Meaning, you know, like some of the more modern stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that we do, like stuff like me and YZ do. But you know, for now, I love being in that category.
Yeah. Yep.
So we going down the line.
Going down the line. Cheating up next.
So this one is my man is on the line. If he's still here, my man Goldfinks. He's one of my favorite producers next to Doc. He makes a lot of heat on me. Me and him been working on a few things, man. We actually gonna do a Goldfingers presents project as well.
Nice.
And Cheating Game is it's just a record. I don't know. He sent me the joint kind of with the hook, but with the sample hook. And then this young kid that I know, I had him do something. He's like a young Bobby Womack type of dude out of Alabama. And so I was just like, man, once I heard his voice, I was like, yo, I got to get you on this record. So and Cheating Game is again, Cheating Game is one of those records that, again, only but only somebody in my class could make this. Like I got a line in Cheating Game when I say you started out real doofy with them thick ass glasses. Now you got contacts and in the gym taking weight classes. You should be arguing the GMP, but I had the nerve to bring your stupid ass in here with me. Like I see that y'all done flipped out on Ozempic and all that and look like tough guys. But in our no. But anyway, this Cheating Game produced by Goldfinks the Great.
Don't blame me. Blame Goldfinks.
I was playing fair, baby. You played a cheating game. Oh, no. Y'all be cheating, man. Fair, baby. You played a cheating game. Let's go. Y'all be cheating, man. Alright, here we go. I'm playing harps in the ghetto on government courts. For what it's worth, sent to the guard causes point to thwart. No sale sign on a soul that can never be bought. Street knowledge from a class that can never be taught. Heard it before, street ain't for everybody. There's sidewalk where people bleed till they body get lined and chalk. We black and entertain, no BET after dark. But East New York like James Top Art and Gershwin Park. I used to bully with revolvers way before the nines. You dudes lucky, all I do now is bully with rhymes. And oh yeah, just turned 60, giving you rappers a clinic. Start started before you was born and ain't nowhere next to finish. My favorite album, Riding Dirty, R.I.P. Pimp C. Most of you rappers work a track for some pimp to see. I had to come full circle, that's why I started my label, because I noticed that the Squares was running the lunchroom table. You started off real doofy with them thick ass glasses. Now you got contacts and in the gym taking weight classes. You should be in debate class. You in the GMP, but had the nerve to bring your stupid ass in here with me. My flow deadly, but that ain't why you need to be shook. If I was you, I worried about them things I wrote in my book. Because once upon a time in a land called Brooklyn, cats was running home barefoot cause they sneakers got tooken. And ain't no way of backing out of this place you park. Meaning that you can't hit reverse cause you placed in park. Not moving. You heard what I said, not moving. Now your theme song that you can't win for losing. Cardan wrote the shot caller line in the Benjamins. You probably thought it was Puff, it wasn't written by him. It's just to show you how easy things get lost in the cut. Cheated your way to the top, but now your deck's been cut. Nigga, what? But you played a cheat game. You got the same. See, I was playing fair, babe. But you played a cheating game. See me and you, we not the same. You ran the funk lane. See, while I was playing fair, babe, you played a cheating game. See, we are not the same. But you ran the funk lanes. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no. Chase the fame, but playing cheating game on. Oh, I know. While I was playing fair, baby, you played a cheating game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, two things. One is, if y'all haven't clicked that link, man, check out that album on Bandcamp. And then the other thing is, I wrote that verse before Puff got locked up, just for people to know. But I always wanted people to know that Cardan wrote that line because Mace told me the story. Mace told me the story of how all of them were sitting on the stoop, him and Cam and all of them. And he looked around and he seen like it was hustlers. I don't know where they was. It was a little higher than 25th, but I don't think they was 45th. So I don't know where they used to be in Harlem, but somewhere in there. And he said, Cardan just looked around and said, "What y'all want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers? Y'all be dipping in the bed." He's the one that wrote that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And you know, Cardan don't get a lot of credit for his, like, that whole Harlem World movement was not just Cam and Mace, man.
Right.
You know, God bless Huddy and all of them. All of them had a big part of it. So I always wanted to say that. And one of the things I always talk about, and we'll move on to the next song, is this is the other thing that's a little weird for me, for my peers. I don't understand how they don't understand that rap right now could be therapy for them.
Yeah.
Everything I believe I put on these records now.
Yep.
Now, granted, I have to be honest. I couldn't say everything I believed on those Tommy Boy records.
Yeah, sure.
There was a lot of times they edited me. Tons of times. And then there was records that never came out. Like, I'm waiting for Prince Paul to give it to me. When EPMD made My Thing. I think it's My Thing.
It's My Thing.
We was always rapping to 7 Minutes of Funk because you know, you heard the stuff I was playing before we came on.
Yep.
So we made a diss record to EPMD called "And You Thought It Was Your Thing."
Wow.
And killed it. I mean, Fuquan's verse on that joint is so hard. It's scorchy. But all of us rocked. All of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Tommy Boy wouldn't let us put it out.
Wow.
They was like, oh, Daddy-o, you know, Monica, oh, Daddy-o, you know. They always come with some logic. You signed to the label, so you know what I mean? It's that type of thing. So my point, and then we'll move on. The next one is the P-Rod track, right?
Yeah, Gloves Off.
Yeah, Gloves Off. So now I'm able, at my age and my stature, thank God I could still rap. I'm able to use rap therapeutically for myself.
Yeah.
So like I sometimes I make these records, like some records are so personal to me. I still put them out and I still got you know, thank God I got you to say, hey D, this is good enough, this ain't good enough, because I don't really know sometimes.
Sure.
I'm just making records because, man, that I don't go to a therapist anymore. Probably should, but I don't. You know what I mean? So that's what I do therapeutically. So again, even leading in the Gloves Off, you're gonna hear a lot of my Gloves Off. You're gonna hear a lot of my beliefs right in this record right here. And shout out to you, Doc, for helping me arrange this record and everything. Because when P-Rock gave it to us, it was very, very raw.
Yeah.
And you really held it and made it like it makes sense now. It's actually, if it's not my favorite record on the album, it's close.
Yeah, it's definitely one of mine. So
Yeah. Gloves Off is crazy. So this is Gloves Off.
Okay.
Produced by P-Rod.
Oh, that truth. P-Rod on the track. Watch this. When the revolver around, I gotta spin a little. Church every Sunday, still sin a little. I had a talk with Pete, and he agreed with me. Step out of line, crack your jaw with the black skittle. We got the means to say and saying what we mean. No actors, real people on the scene. Maybe they could fool me once, but try to fool me twice. Gonna get your head cut like a guillotine. And you can miss me with that brother, I'm the same as you. Because of brothers who believe same as I'ma do. And it's a holy book, being immune to shook before I blast, asking what would Yeshua do. And now we get into the part that get on your nerve. You still alive, but death is what you deserve. Cause you were born to sin, you wasn't born to win. So you should choose right now who you gonna serve. Is it the truth that you know is gonna set you free? Or them lies that you know can make you absentee? Be careful, watch your ways, ain't always crime that pays. When said and done, it's your maker that you gonna see. Putting your hand to the plow ain't a bad thing. Some people work a 9 to 5, some people rap and sing. But whatsoever you do, make sure it's good to you. Cause only you can control who pull your life strings. I'm seeking wins, ain't imagining that I could lose. I'm seeing pieces of a dream in my mind every groove. Cause I'm the old dad truth, cause I'ma feed the youth. But if they goofy, I'ma have to feed them baby food. And on a P-Rod track, I take the gloves off. Don't mess with some of them producers cause they coming soft. Ain't never been my style, ain't had a fight in a while. But on a P-Rod track, I take the gloves off. Gloves on, gloves on, gloves on, gloves on. When I invite the goons to the barbecue, don't let it fool you, they gotta eat too. These people been my friends, gon' be with me to the end. Cross me and you end up being fooled too. Major accomplishment, making it to OG status. Using the wisdom of my rhymes as my apparatus. My title is MC, don't try to step to me. Some of my peers might have stopped, but I'm keeping at it. And when the cops come around, I'm writing badge numbers. To leave a record for my homies if I'm taking under. And not all cops is bad, and if they bad, it's sad. And God forbid they gotta face a case of street thunder. From low-ju houses to the third ward, we keep it thorough. Of course, New York, we the main event in every borough. I'm talking first team, and we the first regime. The flow hotter than fish grease, we cold though. Once, twice, and 3 times, but not a lady. Tucson to Desaline. Big up to Haiti. We some rebels for real, ain't seeking mass appeal, and we can give you the business, no ifs or maybes. I'm kinda small, you can label me a street rat. You say you hating on America, but where you at? And you can choose to leave anytime you please. please, you say you hating on America, but where you at? When saying freedom or death, I will die for it. Scrutinize my haters like a bank audit. And you can try with me, but you gon' plainly see, ready to die for what I believe is good for it. Speaking of belief, y'all be having whack theories. Be on the internet accepting stuff with no query. Speaking and fooling the youth, but you ain't got no proof. I'm trying to change your mindset, but you don't hear me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yo, let's go straight into small things and then I'll talk a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
A small thing.
First come the posers, then come the savages. You really never get away with that frontin', man. Nope. Kendu presents East New York, Brownsville. Little bit of Red Hook, let's go.
I know you're thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch a flossing, you use your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you're thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
Thinking about Dead Man Park, we reminisce. Only shoot when we got the shot, we never miss. Brownsville, East New York, we dangerous. According to OCCB, we high risk. Listening to rappers today, they all tough. Face to face with rappers today, they all bluff. Just because we see you and speak, we ain't cool. Heard you got a name in the street, we ain't fool.
I know you thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch a flossing, you use your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
Kendall hit me up on the text, said come through. Hurried like I'm supposed to do, it's Kendu. Told me gotta be on my guard cause folks plot. Stay away from IG chicks, they use thoughts. Stay away from dudes that talk, they spread lies. Snitching in the name of love, alibis. So I took the homie advice, a clean slate. Heavy haters got to go, I lost weight.
I know you're thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch a flossing, you use your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you think that it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
Wall Street, how we was raised, round bulls. Brooklyn, how we was blessed, cup full. Funny how people forget amnesia. Ruger staring you in the face, you caught a seizure. Watch what you saying and do, be cautious. Really gotta watch what you say, dealing with bosses. Just because we calling you bro, we ain't kin. Just because we see you and speak, we ain't friends.
I know you're thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch a flossing, you lose your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you think that it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
I know you're thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch you flossing, you lose your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
I know you thinking it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. You shouldn't let us catch a flossing, you lose your mink like that. And we don't have no conversation, cause we don't link like that. I know you think that it's a small thing, but we don't think like that. And that's real rap.
First come the posers, then come the savages. You really never get away with that frontin', man. Kendu presents.
Shout out Skylar Thomas, shout out Maul Jones, shout out the whole first team. this album is kind of like, it's kind of like even though all my albums are really first team records, but this album is kind of like a continuation of the first team. You know, it really kind of lets you know how we maneuver. Like we older dudes that like just like stay on that side of the club. You know what I mean? Because what we known to do, we probably don't do most of it anymore.
Right.
But what we known to do, that's not really something that you want. Like it's a whole bunch of that talking and all of that. Like my guys go to the range, they actually could aim.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that, you know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of thing. And it's not like, I don't really see it as pretentious, tough guy talk. I just really see it as East New York stories. And if you know anything about East New York, shout out Fran Lover. Fran could tell you, if you know anything about East New York, then you kind of understand that. But yeah, shout out to everybody that's listening. Don't forget, you ain't got that album, check that Bandcamp link in. Vontel Glasses, the link is there. What we got next?
I was going to say real quick, I hope you don't mind me saying, you said that earlier we were talking about songs that don't fit, songs that might not be up to par.
Right.
Small Ting, and I think Off Them.
Yeah.
Were records that you had pitched to me before for, might have been first team, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was it first team? It could have been first
team. Was the album before that?
It might have been the album before that,
yeah. That not that they were bad songs, they just didn't work.
They didn't work for those
records.
Yes.
But they work here.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of a thing. So that we run into that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's my point, right? Like, just make records, right?
Yeah.
So you make records and they sit and like, I was just talking to YZ and I was like, yo, Picasso Frames is basically done.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a few cats, like my man David Massey that's on there, Out of Reach, and a couple of other cats. Well, Out of Reach is actually already on Picasso Frames, but it's a couple of cats that I work with that are dope producers that I never really got to put on albums. Like, it's amazing that this is the first time that you're hearing Gold.
Yeah, sure.
It's amazing that this is the first time you're hearing the YZ records.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's like, Doc don't let me do, I'm letting y'all know, Doc don't let me do 20 album records.
No.
I remember one time I presented an album with 26 songs to you. We had the biggest fight. You know what I mean? We had the biggest fight.
A pleasant disagreement.
Yeah. I like calling it fight.
Yeah.
My friends know.
Yeah. I was just like, nah, man, we're not doing it.
It was crazy though, because I had 26 records.
Yeah.
I'm arguing with you about NBA Youngboy doing 25, and you telling me Griselda's doing 9, Daddy, yo. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Right. So I'm just letting, all the producers, man, I work with a goo gobble guys. There's a cat I'm working with right now out of Milwaukee named Jay Biller. This kid's so dope, man. It's scary. And you know what I'm saying? Like, they never, like, I can't put everybody on every record.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm working on that now. And I don't know, it depends on how we do, video releases and stuff like that as to whether or not we're gonna, speed up the release schedule or whatever. But I feel good about this one. What's the name of that record? It was a part. That's what's coming next, right? It was a part.
Counterattack, yeah. Speaking of YZ, shout out to YZ.
Counterattack. Yeah. So Counter. Let me say this before we started. So Counterattack, of course, is an ode to my heroes. I love flashing them. So it's an ode to my heroes. But also Counterattack is, besides for a couple of turns, it's a real story. It's two of these. Actually, it's so funny. Both YZ records on this album are real stories.
Real stories, true stories.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess that's what he brings out of me.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here's the first one, Counterattack.
Yeah.
It was a party night in the Brownsville streets. Yeah. Checking out the girls with the pretty feet. Shots rang out and the people started running. We got a good look at the dudes who was gunning. And let's just say we was quick on the draw. Hey. Cause ain't nobody seen them dudes no more. Nope. We be putting ops on their belly and back. Why? Cause we the best crew with the counterattack. Hang
Hanging out in the summer, we be hanging out. Chicks got their toes out, niggas is drinking stout. And unbeknownst to most, the shot is playing every post. I even came out here with Courtney and that nigga Los. We looking good, smelling good, and the wrist right. And with these gators, it ain't about to be no fist fights. But we always aware, eyes on the ops. And we got goons on the roof, eyeing dirty cops. And let me give a disclaimer for the first team. Every day ain't sunny, but we still beam. And when the sky ain't blue, we make the gray work. And if some shit pop off, we stay alert.
It was a party night in the Brownsville streets. Checking out the girls with the pretty feet. Shots rang out and the people started running. We got a good look at the dudes who was gunning. And let's just say we was quick on the draw. Cause ain't nobody seen them dudes no more. We be putting hops on their belly and back. Cause we the best crew with the counterattack.
I learned a lesson way back I learned a lesson. If it's shots in the crowd, then you can't be guessing. Instead of running and ducking, lift your head up. See who busting they guns so you don't get touched. In some instances, a shooter gotta shoot back. That's where the team come in, make sure I don't lack. Cause these streets is tough, try to take your pride. Fast talk around here gon' get your tongue tied. Parties come, parties go, friends don't die. Meaning friends don't perish when it's high tide. Gunners and shooters alike, a hedge of protection. Shootouts and don't get shot, it's such a blessing.
Party night in the Brownsville streets. Checking out the girls with the pretty feet. Shots rang out and the people started running. We got a good look at the dudes who was gunning. And let's just say we was quick on the draw. Cause ain't nobody seen them dudes no more. We be putting house on their belly and back. Cause we the best crew with the counterattack.
I think the young people do what the young people do. And I don't even think we ought to ever even be compared to them because we're so different. If you want to see us as elders in the sport, I appreciate it. The Wilt Chamberlains, the Bill Russells. Me and Chuck is more like on that Dr. J kind of level. You know what I'm saying? But then there's people like Mel and them that go back to being like Bill Russell.
Now that I'm on the streets, they keep calling.
Now that I'm off from there,
Streets, they
keep calling, yeah. Bully of the block, I got addicted to this thing called hip-hop. While all my friends kept riding like a mutt. Escaped prison, I was happy as a mutt. But where I'm from, it comes with the territory. Keep the friends that you had for the fame and glory. But now and then my friends make a little wager. And once a while my friends pull a little caper. Usually go like this, I get a call.
What you doing, D?
Writing rhymes, how about y'all?
We thinking about a smash and grab.
Where?
Linux Mall. Shop on Linux, Phipps Plaza, maybe hit them all. Few $100,000, couple rollies, won't take much of time.
I was happy and flattered, but I had to decline. No, they remember when the streets is what I would chase. But sorry, homie, I'm in a different place.
Now that I'm on the
Yep.
streets, they keep calling. Now that I'm on the streets, they keep calling.
Saw that your chain was snatched, I might could get it back. Pick up my phone, give a call to the wolf pack. They asking me if I want it, I'm looking out for you. But they be thinking about the things that I used to do. My roots deep in the street, I can't help that. My people chose to stay, somehow I chose rap. It gave a whole new meaning to the boom bap. Brand new definition of me saying clap. But now I left them and they often calling me back. This industry, I imagine who I would've jacked. I can't front, y'all be soft when I hear you talking. And I can tell from the time that I saw you walk in. Them brothers buying out the bar, those my friends. Second Amendment means they all carry weapons. A little East New York, a little Brownsville. They saying
D, come on.
I'm saying man chill.
Now that I'm on the streets, they keep calling. Now that I'm on the streets, they keep calling.
Running the street ain't no walk-ins. Running from police is a known trend. You be thinking it's a choice, that's from your shoes. you was on the other foot, you probably changed views. I started rapping cause the bitter alternative. Maybe early graves, maybe long bid. I started rapping cause the bitter alternative. Maybe early graves, maybe long bid. I started rapping cause the bitter alternative. Maybe early graves, maybe long bid. I started rapping cause the bitter alternative. Maybe early graves, maybe long bid.
For my Brooklyn massive, Bed-Stuy, Flatbush, Brownsville, East New York, Crown Heights.
It's C-Doc again.
Stepped up in the party, richer than Liberace, running from paparazzi. Y'all niggas can't stop me.
Flow on a million, swag on a billion. When we come in the building, y'all leaving the building cause we top billing. Me and Daddy-O chillin'. Me and Daddy-O killing that noise. Now run yours.
You know how we do this.
Brooklyn Zoo, it's a home of the gods. Before the crackers came through and made it lovable, made it colorful. Stole the soul of the people. Now we know the sequel. Cause we watched the movie and we ate some popcorn. Thought it was soft porn until your block was gone. Your city was gone. Your whole hood was gone. Grandma, grandpa gone. Word is born. This is America. That's how the story goes. Man, we some lost souls. Now take it from the pros.
Stepped up in the party, richer than Liberace, running from paparazzi. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Stepped up in the party, richer than Liberace, running from paparazzi. Y'all niggas can't stop me.
Rolled up in the bucket, told chocolate to get inside. We going for a ride. I need you by my side. Got some business, need attention. Oh, and not to mention, you walk in that thing poking, ain't gonna be no flinching. That's gonna be right where I want them. Let's make a deal. They asked if you had surgery. I said it's all real. Blinded by the glutes, and they ain't see it coming. Now they scared and they ducking, and some of them running. And we got what we came for. Teamwork. Daddy-O in the fedora, chalk in the skirt. Niggas' mind always in the gutter and the dirt. That's how I knew from the start that my plan would work. Chalk ain't Bonnie, and I ain't Clyde. She more like Deborah King. I'm Kevin Wolf alive. Brownsville legends, East New York felons. And when we coming for that ass nigga, ain't no telling.
Stepped up in the party, richer than Liberace, running from paparazzi. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Stepped up in the party, richer than Liberace, running from paparazzi. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me. Y'all niggas can't stop me.
Yeah, sometimes C-Dot get in these sequences. I couldn't not let those 3 records rock because you get in that mode and those records go along. I appreciate y'all staying with me. We just got a few more joints to go through. If you haven't, click that link in the Bandcamp. A couple of things. That last record, I did that record years ago with Queen Latifah. I did a record called The Pros on the Wrath of My Madness album. And Doc and I had an idea to do it over, so we did it. We did it with Chalk. It came out real dope.
Let me tell you something too. Yeah. When you pitched that record to me, it was like when Chuck pitched to me redoing Public Enemy #1,
right?
And you're like, yo, I want to do Pros Part 2, off the Latifah joint. I was like, oh, word. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I can't wait to hear that. And
right.
Then like Chuck did the same thing. Oh, right. We're going to redo Public Enemy #1. I'm like, oh, that's going to be dope. And then both of you guys literally are like, okay, well, let me know when the beat's done. And I'm like, oh, I gotta redo it. Oh, shit.
Right.
Yeah. So you both actually did that to me. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
no, I love doing it. The other thing is the Off Them record. That's the one we had the video out to now. Shout out to my man Maul Jones. Maul shoots a lot of stuff on me, and in the video world, I deal with him the same way I deal with you in the audio world. So Maul comes and I'm like, what are we shooting?
Yeah.
Because I just gave him the whole album.
Right.
So he had a couple of ideas, but he was like, Daddy-o, I think we got to go with this off them thing. And I was like, really? Like, because, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Sure. But what ends up happening is off them and small things and also the Go Things record are starting to be like these weird fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are hitting me up about that, but it's weird that Maul Jones picked off them as like technically the single and the first video, but people were gravitating toward it just hearing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but again, like it's all East New York stories. You hear me in the pros part too. I talk about Deborah King and Kevin Wolf. Like if you know anything about East New York, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like those are our heroes. Like they got Meech and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shout out to my man Tut that just came home. But you know what I'm saying? But we got our own heroes, and Deborah King and Kevin Wolf, they older than Tut. You know what I mean? Like those are like Brownsville fellas, East New York legends, like for real. So the next joint is Clap, right?
Yeah.
So yes, Clap is also produced by YZ, also a very true story. And when we do the video, we got a C-Doc version of this too. So when we do it, we'll do the multi and we'll do the other version. But Clap,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
that's a hard joint. But yeah, Clap is an interesting true story, man. It's things that, you know, a lot of times I started this process when I did a record called Powder Burn on Eldola. Yeah. And I always said that people don't see the other side of the street. You know, a lot of times they see the first side and the glitz and the glory and all of that things, but they don't see what happens on the inside. And I don't mean like from a snitch perspective. I mean from a realistic perspective, almost like I'm talking brother to brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what Clap is. And you know, shout out to Curtis Blow too. This is
yeah. One of them Billy Boy tracks, yo. Watch this. What it look like, it doesn't look right. Started off friends, now they just fight. Stay out of each other's way to avoid the shooting. Remember when it was boys in the park hooping, but now the street code got them at each other's throat. Folks that know them ask them stop fighting, but they won't, because it's money involved, the case sensitive, and making living day to day real tentative. Same city, so they both gotta watch their back. Same friends, so they never know who might attack. It's the street, so everybody talking tough. It's about money, so nobody think they got enough. Prime example of the evil that the men do. Brother fighting brother, it ain't meant to. And it's real out here, you gotta watch your back, cause when the guns come out, everybody clap. Late on a Friday night, way in the back room. I remember clearly cause it was a full moon. Then the lights went out, somebody robbing the joint. Everybody had to get down at gunpoint. Only certain people knew it was a private meeting. They took precaution, private information wasn't leaking. So it had to be a job from the inside. Somebody gotta pay, somebody gotta ride. So posters getting checked and moves get explored. No one ignored, see what everybody hitting for. Who set the robbery up was supposed to be a friend, but that's the power of greed. Now somebody losing. Don't even think that they thought about what they was doing. This ain't a win-win, now everybody losing. So when the snitch got caught, they found out where they at. Then the guns came out and everybody clapped.
Yeah.
Yep.
It reminds me, there's a video going viral today. It's a sad video. There's a video going viral today about this shooting in Philadelphia. I don't know if you saw it. And all those kids, it's a bunch of kids. You see and the kids is on the hold on 1 second.
Yep. Got to take care of business.
Yeah, fucking, you know what happens when you're on the damn terrace. Anyway, but yeah, it's a bunch of kids. It's a bunch of clapping, like it's a bunch of shooting. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of that. And I want to, I'm talking to a couple of cats now. I've been working on this self-destruction project for a while. Me and Talib was talking a little earlier today, so I'm about to really, really get that jump started. This next joint, we got 2 more joints for y'all, and then I'll do a question and answer if I if y'all want to do something question and answer if y'all stay around. 2 more joints for you. This next joint is a joint I have been wanting to make for years. Curtis Mayfield did this last album, and when he did this last album, he did this record called Here But Gone, and I always wanted to do something to it, so I finally got a chance to put it together. So this is Here But Gone. Again, this is a very, very introspective record, and that's Curtis Mayfield that y'all hear singing. This is
Where do I belong? I don't know where I belong now. And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Where in the world did I go wrong?
If I took the time to replace what my mind erased,
My mind.
I still feel as if I'm here, but I'm gone.
Oh, that truth. I feel a knock, knocking on my spirit's door. East New York mixed with Brownsville to the core. Remembering lessons that my mama taught me years before. You either implore or we go to war. You choose to do the things you do because you bred bad. Ain't rocket science, but the streets was my launching pad. And I don't know if it's my teaching or my upbringing, or maybe the fact that I was raised around the gunslinging. But push me, shove me, and you gon' get the business. As God as my witness, you gon' get the business. How I be spazzing look like hissy fits that I be having. I might commence to slapping you if you commence to blabbing. And I be asking how I get so far gone. I'm tripping out myself because my will's strong. I can't erase my roots, and growing up a trooper, will I go off the chain? I can't predict the future.
How did I get so far gone? Where do I belong? I don't know where I belong now. And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Where in the world did I go wrong?
If I took the time to replace what my mind erased,
My mind.
I still feel as if I'm here, but I'm gone.
When people ask me what it mean being here but gone, best way to explain it is to put it in a rap song. It's like my body here but mine on to something else. I'm like your daddy telling you to go and get the belt, cause it's a whooping you deserve from doing all the posing. Why you be lying to me and thinking I ain't knowing, but I done had your entire background check. Where you front, where you stunt, and where you get respect. And it seemed like you ain't really bout it, so all that huffing and puffing you can do without it. Cause of you and the folks just like you, I'm behaving like a lion breaking out the zoo. And I be asking how I get so far gone. If you don't know me by now, you should have been warned. I grew up a trooper, I can't erase my roots. Don't make a Christian have to jump out his salvation suit.
How did I get so far gone? Trying to figure it out, man. Where do I belong? And where in the world did I ever go wrong? If I took the time to replace what my mind erased, I still feel as if I'm here but I'm gone. How did I get so far gone? Where do I belong? And where in the world did I ever go wrong? Where in the world did I ever go wrong? If I took the time to replace what my mind erased, I still feel as if I'm here but I'm gone. How did I get so far gone? Where do I belong? And where in the world did I ever go wrong?
Yeah. That gun be chrome, platinum, lights, camera, Brooklyn, action. East flows and it just won't stop. Get a chain back, kept his watch. Spared the kids, swept his block. Fled the scene for the block, got hot. Got a rep that I need to protect, and I ain't gon' leave till I get my respect. Turf wars in the place that I come from. Gotta prove your worth and then some. Just because I shook your hand, it don't mean we cool and I ain't your man. We was raised by wolves, that's Cavario. We done hurt your pride, we ain't sorry though. How I look from the place we stand, protecting your feelings ain't in the plan. You confused what I'm really trying to say though. You want peace, but it ain't that daddy-o. You want love, but I can't get love back. Cause when I text you, you ain't text me back. Was a fool cause I thought we were straight, but I cut your grass and exposed you a snake. Now you got a little war in your hands. Type of war create hostage demands. Type of war don't end in the truth, but a take for the team and a transfer of loot. Yeah, don't look so surprised. Bitch made, I saw it in your eyes. But I let my guard down a bit. In the East they call that a slip, but I ain't gon' slip no more. What you think I brought them here for? Making sure your chin get a check. 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 Making sure your chin get a check.
That's it, East New York story. Shout out to my man. My man Cavario wrote a book called Raised by Wolves. And so that was the inspiration for that song.
I was gonna ask. You did the beat too.
Yeah. It's one of the I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of that, like listening to Griselda and all of them. And my man Goo calls it drums with no drums. Really, that one I have no drums at all.
Right.
That's all orchestration. But I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of that. I think I might have 2 more in the archive that are like they because the cellos and all of that stuff like fill up everything.
Yeah.
And then we're doing something really I can't reveal it now, but we're doing something so scratch the blackboard like for that video. It's amazing. Like we're doing something pretty amazing, artsy, creative, unconventional for that video. For that Raised by Wolves. I think that might end up being the second video if I don't end up doing like gloves off or I know I got to do a gloves off. I know I got to do a cheating. I know I got to do a small thing. So I got to figure it out. And then I want to do the one of the YZ records, but it's just the crowd that I want for that record. I just hope that I could get like the extras for it. But yeah, that's the album. Yo, if you guys once again like that link, check out the Bandcamp if y'all haven't already purchased that. Vontel glasses, links in the bio. I mean in the description. And I don't know if anybody got any questions while we still on.
And it's available on CD too. SpitSLAM records.com. Cop the CD.
Absolutely.
Yep. So mine just came in today. So
yeah, I thank everybody for being on. Every time I listen to the album, I feel great.
That's good. I'm glad you feel great. Let me ask you this. Finally got the Stet record out last year. How was it coming back to doing a solo record again?
Oh, that's easy though. Like it's so much easy. I always say, like the Stet records are a lot easier to do, just in terms of layout because you don't have to be the only rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's look at Ultramac. So that you know what I'm saying. So that is it. But I always look at it like this. This is the way I always, and I say this often. Maybe not in enough interviews, but I say it often. I look at Stetsasonic. I love my band, but I look at Stetsasonic as PG.
Yeah.
Daddy-O is rated R and above. So it's not hard for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard for me because I know the difference, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that I want to get off my mind, those are not Stetsasonic ideas at all.
Yeah.
You know, some of those guys don't even, 3 of us was from the East, but even the other 2 that's from the East, they didn't grow up on my side of the block. They didn't go through the things that I went through. They didn't grow up with the crew that I had, you know, hence the album cover and all the rest of that. So it's not hard at all, especially when it comes down to expression. Like, I don't know, man. Jam Master Jay, God bless his dead, said something a long time ago. I heard an interviewer ask him about rap music, right?
Okay.
And he said, "What is rap music?" To the interview, you know, Jay was he was a character. So he said, "What is rap music?" He said, "Run D could rap to anything I put on.
Yeah.
If I put on polka, they could rap to that." I never forget him saying that.
Yeah.
And so I always thought that when you get the opportunity, you can do all of these issues of expression. You know, like I have all of these like kind of joint albums I want to do. You know, years ago I was talking about doing this whole, you know, me, Chuck, and Speech. Now it might end up being like me, Chuck, and YZ. But either way, you know what I mean? It's like I feel like it's just another mode of expression. And now that I have C-Doc, Goldfings, David Massey, Out of Reach, Maul Jones on the helm. I mean, I'm missing everybody.
Fran Lover.
Everybody. But what I'm saying is I got all Fran Lover. I got all of these people. Why not? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, why not just throw mad expression into the pot?
Yeah.
Unless I can't write rhymes. Now, if I can't write rhymes, that's a whole nother thing. But thank God I don't have that problem right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
why not do it? So it's like I love doing it. We actually working on a new step video now. We should probably have it done fairly soon because Stetsasonic is gonna be in Philadelphia on August 24th. Us, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, and the alumni is coming. I know they're advertising them separately, but I don't know if they're gonna do separate shows. They're probably gonna do it as the alumni. So it's gonna be Chubb Rock, Moni, Kwame, and Dana.
Yeah.
And then there's some other Philadelphia, and then there might be a surprise guest that people will be bugged out about. So it's gonna be a nice show, August 24th. We're trying to drop that video. We're trying to drop the Lolita video probably by the beginning, probably at least by the beginning of August. So we're working on that right now. Greg, Out of Reach said Greg Nice too.
Yeah.
So Special Ed. He said Special Ed. Yeah, Ed's coming. So that's gonna be a dope show. So it's that Lady B basement party. That's gonna be dope.
I might have to try to make it out for that one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you're in Pennsylvania, so we try to work it out. And then I'm just letting you guys know, like, it might feel a little like slow motion, but me and Doc is about to be together physically in a few months, and it's gonna be we gonna go ham.
Yep.
So I'm just letting y'all know. But you know what I'm saying? Just shout out to everybody that stayed around, and just please try to inspire your if you rapping, that's one thing. If you're not rapping, try to inspire your heroes, man, because I really think that our voices are needed. And I've been saying this for years. Me and Chuck cannot do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
Me, Chuck, and Chris. It's like me, Chuck, and Chris. Every year you see new records.
Yep.
You don't see new records from everybody I wish everybody, like, made a record last year. She need to make a record this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least Snoop followed up and did another one.
Right.
But Cube now got to follow up on what he did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Inspire your heroes, man, because me and Chuck can't do this thing alone. But shout out to Chuck D for being my comrade in this, because he did, he beat me a little bit this year, but not kind of sort of, because Stetsasonic came last year, but he did Public Enemy and the Enemy Radio,
Yep.
They had some help from C-Dot. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But shit, yo, the Public Enemy album, man, listen, man. It's a Public Enemy album.
It's a Public Enemy album.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, yo, man, that was the quickest Public Enemy album we've ever put together. Like, as long as I've been working with the group,
yeah.
Crazy how fast.
Well, I'm going to tell you what's refreshing. I mean, Chuck is going to be Chuck, but it's refreshing to hear Flav rap a little more.
Yes.
And his style, you know what I mean? Like Flav kind of updated his style a little bit.
And shout out to Rampage.
Yeah.
For that, because Rampage gave Flav the assist. So.
Oh, okay, good. That's what's up. But yeah, I mean, you know, but we can't do it by ourselves, guys. We just can't do it. Oh yeah, I forgot who just said it, but yeah, Mano and because I was on the phone with Talib today. Mano and Talib just did a joint on Go Stetsa.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Word.
It's hot. It's hot. I mean, you know, what you call him called me earlier. Talib had called me when they was working on it. Like he was you know, I just want to get your blessings. I just want to let you know what I'm doing. And he let me hear their little sketch rhymes, but they did, you know, but they honestly, man, Mano came off, man.
Oh, word.
Yo, Mano came off. Like, you know, Talib's gonna come off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you expect that, but I really didn't expect Mano to come off that hard. He came off hard on the Ghost That's a Joy. And it's dope the way they used it because they didn't mess it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They started it off with my lyrics and boom, they doing a video in New York. He wants me to come through. I gotta see because I'm getting ready to take a trip and I don't know if I want to lead a family and stuff like that, but it's like that. But you know, shout out to everybody. You know, YZ should be working on his, you know, Morganic is out right now.
And real quick too, this Thursday,
yes,
come back here, Channel Zero. We're gonna do a listening party for Morganic. So
yeah, Morganic is out now. YZ should be working on the next record right now. Yep. I'm just letting him know. And the guys that are on this thing right now, there's a bunch. I know Fran. Yeah, Last Emperor did it a while ago. I was in the studio with Last Emperor, and then when they did the Ghost Stetsa joint. I know Fran has produced on the Morganic album, but I'm telling you, YZ, Goldfings, Outer Reach. Outer Reach is right there with you in Atlanta. These cats, some of these producers I'm messing with, man, these cats are no joke. And you know, of course, the great C-Doc. So
yeah, I sent him some stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna work on it. Yep. Keep applying the pressure. You're right. But me and Outer Reach got a record called Nobody. That's a little bullyish. I mean, yo, Outer Reach ain't nobody kind of bullyish. It's a little bullyish. You know what I'm saying? But it's good. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got comfortable. You know what I mean? It took me a minute. You know what I mean, to get very comfortable, Doc. You know, because you know from the beginning of us starting out with everybody but Karis. But you know, I by the time we locked in around the No Tablecloths time, we got comfortable. So and that's what I want everybody to do. Like that's why I want everybody. You realize since 2016 with SpitSLAM, I done did 8 albums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you said I told you you on my neck. So it can be done. And some of these young producers will really work with you. Like I remember Outer Reach giving me Nobody. I think it was a sound in it that I didn't like or whatever. I was like, oh, he just, fix it up for me, send it back to me. You know what I mean? Like, like these guys will work with you. And the thing about it is you guys, the reason and I'm just going to be honest, one of the good reasons, I'm not going to say real, one of the good reasons I love working with you guys is you guys are fans also. So the way you guys put together these records, right? Shout out Bobby Simmons. The way you guys put together these records, y'all not going to see us fail.
Yeah.
Like it's a difference than a guy who just like, a guy who just make beats or whatever, and that's no disrespect to guys that just make beats, right?
Right.
But you guys are going to give us the type of heat that you think we deserve. And then all of y'all that I mentioned people say boom bap, but I think it's beyond boom bap.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, some of it is boom, boom, bap, bap.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
not really that. Like, we doing joints that, like, anybody could spit on some of the joints that we make, but you guys tailor make them. Like, that's one thing I will say about YZ. YZ tailor make them beats for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I could rap on them beats like that. I could get in and out of it and all of that. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because, and that's what I love about y'all. Y'all tailor make them joints. And when I get, yo, man, you don't even want to hear. Yo, I'ma just say this. There's a record that LTD made, right? Called Where Did We Go Wrong?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it. My go-to guy for those kind of samples is Goldthings. Yo, the way he put, when I tell you what I'm gonna do with this record, and it's gonna be about hip-hop, where did we go wrong? But the way he put it together is crazy.
Yeah. It's
so crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all guys honor us. So it's and the only other time you've ever seen that in hip hop is back in the day. Marley Marl honored his rappers.
Yeah.
That's why those Biz records sound like that. That's why even Shantae, who is, and me and Shawnee friends, who is not the best rapper in the world, but he made the right joints.
Yep.
You understand? And when Muffler and them came in and worked with LL, they rocked, right?
Yep.
So even the new guys that came in, so you got Bomb Squad doing what they did for Cube, but when Jinx came in with the heat.
Yep.
Because it was an honoring of those guys.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, cats just got into the whole ideology of I'm getting paid for, I'm getting paid for beats, and I'm getting paid to produce and stuff. I'm not saying some of those things are not great,
right,
but some of it doesn't gel, especially for us, because we're a little more seasoned, so I think we need that kind of attention. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Well, there it is. Daddy-O, East New York Stories out now.
Bandcamp. Y'all can listen to it everywhere, but I prefer you going to the Bandcamp. Cha-ching. Vontel eyeglasses. I'm gonna be premiering a few more of these and stuff. Check out the video off them. Share that video off them. Share it with some of these young guys, man, because they need to know that people come off them streets, man. People don't stay on them streets all the time. Yep. We out of here. I want to do it. Some of my friends are still doing that. You see that, Yep. But but true. That's what it is. And shout out to everybody that stayed around, man. I appreciate you, Doc. And we'll talk soon, brother.
Yeah, man. And join me back here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna have it's C-Doc again with Doug and Dave from D&D Studios.
Oh, so, that's dope.
All right, I'll tune in for that. Yeah,
all
we'll be talking to them tomorrow night.
Yeah,
and like I said before, YZ listening party on Thursday. We're gonna go through his
organic Thursday, y'all.
Yep, exactly.
Be back here. Be back here Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep. All right, everybody.
Peace. All right. Peace.